Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today after the disappointment that was today's big update. I wanted to write an open letter to Infinity Ward. Dear Infinity Ward, I really believe in Modern Warfare. I believe Modern Warfare is a fantastic product. I think it has so much love and care built into this game. It is so, you need to look no further than the Gunsmith to see how absolutely beautifully designed this game was. However, we are at a crossroads here. I understand you have a developmental intent. You have an intentionally developed game that you want to create, and nobody should be able to take that away from you. This should be the game that you want it to be. Logically speaking, you are the artist, and this is your piece of art. So I do not think the community is entitled to any certain change or any certain update whatsoever. However, you need to make the decision for yourselves. Will you give up your own artistic vision, your own idea of what this game could have been in order for this game to be more successful and more supported and more loved by the community? Or do you hold strong on your developmental intent, and do you have a community that truly doesn't enjoy your game? It is completely fair to ditch the popular opinion and completely fair to know that this game is not going to be popular with many if that is what you want to do. However, if you want people to enjoy this game, if you want people to have fun in this game, if you want people to love this game and share this game and promote this game and tell other people to buy this game and to have future success in this game and with its battle pass and, financially, all that sort of stuff, you need to make some serious changes. Now, the good thing is, you don't need to look far to see what changes need to be made, because whenever you look on YouTube or Reddit or Twitch or wherever you're going to look at feedback for your game, from what I've experienced, everybody's on the same page. Well, let me preface that. Everybody is on the same page, except you, Infinity Ward. We all understand. Skill-based matchmaking needs to be removed. Red dots need to be on the minimap with unsilenced weapons. Dead silence needs to be a perk. And we need more maps. Those are the 4 key things that literally everybody agrees on unanimously. There are some minor changes that can be very beneficial and some bugs that need to be fixing and all this sort of good stuff, but we need to take care of those core 4s right away. Because as of right now, Infinity Ward, unfortunately, you have created a bad game. Now, I don't mean that as in a bad product. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I think this is a brilliantly made product. I think it's a beautiful product. However, it is a bad game. A game is technically a form of play or sport, especially a competitive one, played according to rules and decided by skill, strength, or luck. Modern Warfare is not a game decided by skill, strength, or luck. In fact, it's quite the opposite. The better you do, the more skillful you are in this game, the more the game punishes you for it. Obviously, skill-based matchmaking is perhaps the biggest factor in this, but of course, like I said, with the minimaps, with the minimap red dots as well as the footsteps, it's hard for a more intelligent player to be successful. Infinity Ward, you have cut down the skill ceiling by removing the red dots and removing dead silence as a perk. Without dead silence as a perk, people generally can always have some sort of awareness to where the enemy team is coming from, at least if they're getting close, which means it's harder to sneak around, it's harder to be aggressive and rush, and it's harder to make smarter, intelligent, tricky decisions to be stealthy and to be, a better player. And the lack of red dots on the minimap doesn't bode well either, because I know in previous Call of Duties, Apparently, some people thought chasing red dots was a bad thing, but I will defend it because, first of all, when you're chasing a red dot, it means you're moving around and you're not just sitting there waiting for people to walk by. So it creates an enjoyable, fast-paced gameplay. But also, when I am rushing into the enemy spawn and I see 3 or 4 red dots spread out, that gives me their exact location, which means that I can intelligently decide which target I want to go after at which point in time, which target might be looking at me or running away, which target I can get away with letting go or killing first. There is so much skill and there is so much reaction time, strength, and just physical, mental skill and intelligence that goes into reading that minimap very quickly, that to remove that just cuts down that skill. It cuts down that skill ceiling and it makes the game worse and more random. And I will say, for the map design philosophy, this is a breath of fresh air for me, and I really do enjoy a lot of aspects about these maps. Not all of them are winners. I have a map series coming up which I'll dive deep into the maps and give you guys all my, raw thoughts and everything. But even with the maps that I do like, there's only like 10 of them in the entire game. And not all of them are home runs either. There's a couple like Piccadilly and, that bridge map where it's just like when you have 2 out of your 10 maps, that's 20% of your entire map selection is unenjoyable to people. And believe me, that's a lot more than just those 2 maps people don't like. It creates a bad vision for your game. So even if I enjoy a lot of these maps, because there's only like 10 of them, it's starting to get a little boring. So please keep at it with the content updates and the more maps of the 6v6 and the 10v10 modes. Now we need to talk about you, Infinity Ward. I've just explained to you exactly why things need to change, and I've explained to you what would happen if you don't want to change it, which is perfectly fine. However, here's the thing, if you do want to change this game, if you do want to have an audience that loves this game, if you want to have a player base that is absolutely in love with this game, saying that this is the best Call of Duty since Call of Duty 4, since Modern Warfare 2, since, whenever they started playing Call of Duty, if you want that to happen, you need to step up. Kick it into gear, take control, pull your heads out of your butts, because this is getting ridiculous. If you don't know, beautiful people, patch notes were released on the Blizzard launcher for the PC version of this game, and in there were a couple of developer notes on some of the changes like gun game and footsteps, and specifically on the footstep one, there was a note saying that we know the community doesn't want this change. We know this is not the change the community is looking for. So this tells me a couple things. The first thing it tells me is that they are listening. They do hear our feedback and they understand what we want. The second thing it tells me is there is something getting in the way of making these changes, If it is that design philosophy that you want to keep your intent, that is perfectly fine. However, communicating that is probably the best course of action if you want to stay the course you're on. But like I said before, if you want the community to love this game, you need to start taking control of this game. The ball is in your court, Infinity Ward. Everybody else is decided. Everybody else is on the same page except for you. And if you want to take back this year, if you want to take back this audience, you need to start making big changes that actually change the game rather than these tiny little changes that don't do anything. And even worse, now there's XP bugs, now there's misaligned laser sights. Infinity Ward, get it together. Right now, I feel like you guys are being way too timid. You've nerfed one gun, the 725, 3 times before it was an acceptable change. We need to start making radical decisions. We need to start making radical changes. We need to start actually actively changing this game in order for the community to start enjoying it. Stop being afraid, stop being timid, communicate to the community, because we will be the lifeblood of this game. And if you decide that you're not going to listen to the community, that you have your own intention for the game, just like Michael Condrey had in World War II, you saw how that panned out for him, then that's perfectly fine, but you need to tell us that. You guys know exactly what needs to happen, and because of those patch notes, the community knows that you know exactly what needs to happen. So if it doesn't happen, be ready for an even worse falling out than you've already had. You have the power to take control of this narrative. You have the power to take control of what the community is saying and change everybody's minds and to close everybody's mouths about this game and make this game the best game that it can be. Or you can lay there and still make little tiny changes and say, oh, this big update's coming, until we're in October and we're talking about Black Ops 5, and then voila, your game is dead. Take control, Infinity Ward. It's up to you. I can't do it for you. No one can do it for you. You gotta do it for yourselves. If you made it this far into the video, I thank you guys so much. Perhaps I've earned a like from you. If this does make it to anybody at Infinity Ward, I would be very much surprised, but I hope you know that I just love this game. It's not coming from a hateful place. This is coming from a loving place, a passionate place, because I truly believe in this game, because I think there are so many good things about this game. We just need to get going with this, all right? So, okay. 2 videos you may have missed. On the left here, we have my So Now What video. We figured out there is some skill-based matchmaking type thing hidden MMR system in Modern Warfare. What do we do about it? What does this mean for the community? So go ahead and check out that video there. On the right, something radically different. We're going to go with the Danger of Nostalgia video I did way long ago, talking about zombies. If you're a Zombies fan, go ahead and check out that video. It's not multiplayer, it's not Modern Warfare, something a little different. Hey, see if you enjoy it, because I love zombies and it's definitely going to pop up again on this channel. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Till the next absolutely beautiful Modern Warfare morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, stay beautiful.